Hey, Meal Maptalk. So first things first, you put Telly at spawn either there or there. Doesn't really matter. Usually what you do is you put it here. But I mean, teams also like to put it on this side because it's a bit less. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just put it somewhere here. Entrance, right? Yeah, but outside of putting Telly there, another thing teams do is they put Telly somewhere around here on B. So there's two ways to play Gravel Pit. So how Gravel Pit works, do you guys know how the capping on this map works or no? Do we have to explain that? So the capping on this, I'll go over it anyways. The capping on this map, you have to cap both A and B before you can cap C. Which means because you can't really split hold A and B, you probably gonna have to, you choose either to hold A or B, right? So we'll go over both the B hold, the A hold, and the C hold, okay? And then if you give one up, basically only spy plays on that side, or like a scout, or like a sniper, cheeky angle, whatever, right? So, very common. This is a map where, yes, you need suicides. Because if you look at ML kits, you know, it's not that many, right? Jack effect, I would not recommend it. But you could do it, but I'll explain this why. So on B, suicides are kind of key. Usually what you do is you play the gun here, and the dispenser like right below, somewhere here or here, usually here. And then what you do is you level to level. That's why you need sacks, because you level this to level 3 or 2. You could do the bullets as well, right? What you do is you sentry jump on the roof. And where's the ammo again? Fuck. It's like the only pack, right? Yeah. Kinda sucks. Bear with me while I build the sentry, okay? Hey. So what you do is you jump up, build the tele exit like right here somewhere. So this is done so your heavy can play on the roof. Okay. So very specifically, this sideline is nasty heavy head glitch, right? So it's really good for any player to be able to get on the roof. That's why I usually want a tele here. And so it's very important you have one. That's the reason that the people don't always put the tele at the spawn, okay? But either way, having tele on roof is pretty important. So you should do suicides if you're doing with a B hold. So more common than not, teams do B holds on this map because it's slightly better. Well, you could work with both, right? But slightly better. So typical B hold, at the beginning of the game, you play the heals pretty aggro, okay? Because the only two doorways for them to go is that one and that one. And usually you have them will hold like one side and soldier the other, or the other way around, okay? So if you look at this hallway, basically it comes to this door. So usually you'll have like, them will have play left, soldier right, or the other way around. And basically you tank all the heals in those two classes. And the scout plays aggro with them as well, right? Because you can get up here pretty easy. Right, so you just hold this down, right, with heals. Not much more to say. Like this roof as well is a pretty good soldier roof to play, or scout, right? Soldier and scout usually play on these roofs. Then in the beginning you can play the heals like nice and aggro, right? Because there's not really any sniper sidelines, right? So just playing the heals super aggro is pretty decent. But what's gonna end up happening at some point is they're gonna get control of these doorways, and they're gonna have like nasty spam angles on your combo, right? At which point, at some point, you're just gonna lose a couple players, and you're gonna be forced to play behind house, which is why the gun's here. So the gun is basically, there's a specific boss. There's a specific boss, I think it's like right on this mark there, where it like watches the roof when they try to peek over the thing, right? So like that. You could also put it at the back, but then it's a bit too easy to sticky. Another gun you could do is you put it on the back here, right? not in the window, and you put like back here behind this wood, right? The issue with this is too easy to get sniped. You can also put it on the roof, so there's a couple options there as well, right? You also sometimes see a window gun, but I don't like the window gun. The window gun kind of sucks ammo. Another thing you can do is you can put it, you can rotate it and put it like looking like this, kind of on this side or here, right? So then it kind of looks down if they try to push the bottom right area, or on the other side, right? Moving the gun is not that bad, but like standardized, you put it there so they can't really play on roof, okay? Like they can't really peek on you. Basically, the goal of the gun is that they can't peek over like this with a soldier, so your medic is pretty safe in this area, right? So if they try to peek, the gun's here shooting at them, because your medic can now safely play here, right? Yeah. So for pushing this point, it's all, usually what happens is you take space out of the chokes, and then you push through the right side, and then you exchange, okay? Like also, like, usually you have like demos and soldiers obviously fighting over the roof, right? So they take buffs, fight over the roof, and your combo pushes right side to exchange, okay? Because getting the heavy in these windows, like looking down over them, it's pretty good, right? Like in this spot, in this corner right here. So what's gonna usually happen is you're gonna have like a Uber exchange on the right here with like a pyro medic versus their pyro medic or whatever, right? And then the heavy like plays the side angles and tries to like help out, you know? So getting your heavy on this point is pretty critical for that reason. But these you like kind of it's so easy to get just spammed through the windows by like soldiers and demos that having the heavy like being able to tank most of the cap is important. Like you don't want to stack 7 people on this point, right? Because they're just gonna get wiped, okay? So always like make sure you have like you can. It's completely fine to just slow cap this point and just make sure they can't do damage to the guy that's capping, right? That's a way smarter way to play than just balls to the walls deep, okay? So any questions about this point? And another obvious reason why you want to tele on the roof is sniper sidelines, right? So sniper just has nasty head glitches on this roof using this and shit. Just with medic and the gun, pretty much. Wherever the medic and the gun is. It's kind of straightforward. Pyro's job is making sure medic survives, and the gun survives. Okay. Like generally, you're like ready, just there for Uber exchange and reflecting and like spy checking and shit. Okay. Like you're not really high impact because the combat, the main combat classes like heavy, sniper, demo, soldier, scout really shine on this specific point. Like in general on this map, it's very centered to those. There's a lot of spy uncloaks to worry about as well on this map, like here, 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 here. The cheeky one here. Have the spool uncloak. The wood sign uncloak. You have the rock uncloak here. Like right here, tucked in, you know? You have you got these spots like the spike, like I said, spike can sit on there, can also sit in the spawn. The rock uncloaks here on defense. You have well, everything around here. Just like in this back corner here on the side. And then you jump through the window, get a stab. Right? Make sure you practice jumping through those things. It's kind of important. Then here on the box on the high ground, you know, you got hit. You got this shit. You know, you have this room where you can do some trick stab around the corner. Like this is a really juicy stair. This is a really like stair stab heavy area. This is where all the clips happened back in the day. Like right here, fire chase around the corner, you go like this, and then you go like, oh, whoop, stair stab. No. But yeah, this room as well. You know, kind of straightforward. There's a lot of spy shit to do on this map. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So the other play you do is you push like from here, or you push behind, right? So usually what you'll do is you'll first just try to push like this, maybe not with an Uber, but you can't just get the Ubers out the way straight away, right? You'll just push this side and you'll send like one guy to cap A or two guys to cap A at most, right? Usually what you do is you send 3 guys towards A, which is like something like NG Scout, Soldier, or Spy, Spy, Soldier, NG, or whatever, right? You don't want to, or like, yeah, Scout is kind of nice on this point as well, or same for Soldier. You don't really want to send all of your heavy combat class, but like your niche shit. You send like your Spy, NG, Soldier, Spy, NG, Scout, just like you would do on Steel, right? Usually, Soldier's pretty good at taking A if there's anyone holding it, so usually you'll send Soldier, Scout, and like Spy or Soldier, Scout, NG. Then what you'll do is you'll just kill a guy and chase him if there's anyone there, and then you leave one guy to cap A, right? So usually you have your NG do that, okay? So why NG? It's because so you might send 3 guys towards A, but you only have 1 guy there left to cap, okay? Why do you only do ×1? Because the speed at which you cap A really doesn't matter that much, right? And you'd much rather have your Scout Soldier help with like sacking on B or whatever, right? Get another angle on B. So like as soon as A is clear and you can just solo cap that with an NG, right? Like the only thing that might happen is like a Spy v NG on A, right? Like that's, as soon as that is not a thing anymore, you leave. Like if you kill the Spy on A, for instance, and then you back the other guy off, usually you'd have 2 people holding this, like kind of passively while they're defending B. You just do that, and you just go to the other side. If they're holding A, you just push B, right? Obvious. Okay, this is first thing first, right? If they're holding A, you push B. If they're holding B, you push A. If they're trying to hold both, you just push one side with everyone, and you just exchange and kill them all. Okay? You just push wherever their combo isn't. If they're split holding, they're really dumb if they do that. Or you push wherever their combo is. It doesn't really matter. You just take the 9v5 straight away. Okay? You don't wait for shit. Just usually you push wherever the sniper isn't at that point. Okay? But for this point, right, you only want ×1. So then whoever is help you take A can like start wrapping through the tunnel here or behind, right? And usually why is it NG? Because right after NG is done, you can build in the blue spawn, right? So you can just put a tally like on the point here after. And like parts start putting like minis and like level 3s or minis or whatever here. And the NG just plays here after that. If you get a level 3 teleporter up here, that means after you cap B, anyone that respawns that died in the B fight and respawns can just be on C already locking it down, right? So it's very important that you get this control of the Spire, right? If they take control of Spire, and you're holding B when you're defending, you can't lose basically. Or when you do lose, when you lose the play, like if you have to make the choice between like losing the point or like losing control of Spire, losing the point here, and then also being fucked by the gun here, you gotta clear the gun first, right? So like whenever what you kind of want to do if they get control of Spire is kind of ignore it, unless their combo starts pushing from this side, and you just rotate your team over, okay, to this side instead of the front, okay? Does that make sense? You don't really care if they have control of Spire. If they can't cap B, it doesn't matter, right? So at that point, the only thing you have to do is basically like not die, right? And like it's basically up to your Soldier and Spy to clear this gun, okay? It's not, or you can have your demo rotate for like a second, but you don't really want to leave B unattended, okay? Like it's better to just win the fight on B, like really cleanly, okay? But there are some. That is basically how you're gonna lose B points, right? They get a pick on you. So the worst thing you can do when like that gun gets there is bleed on B, then have a really bad B fight, be forced to leave, and then you run into the gun, right? So you gotta be thinking about, hey, we can leave this gun here, sure, but as soon as we lose a player, right, and he's respawning, that's when we need to kill the gun. Does that make sense? Because if all 9 of your players are alive on B, and they kill your tele at spawn or whatever and they get the gun, it doesn't really matter because you have 9 people to hold B, and they're forced to push into you, right? So when they push into you, they're gonna die, and then you can clear the gun for free, right? So that doesn't really matter to you, right? So it's more that as soon as you lose like a soldier or whatever on B, and he can't get back into B to help, right? That's when you need to start thinking about killing this gun, okay? Does that make sense? Because that's when it becomes an issue, because then the gun starts separating your spawners from your hold, right? And that's when it becomes an issue, right? But until that's not an issue, it doesn't matter, okay? Like, easy way to deal with this is just have your soldier, like, a spy do some shit here, you know, together. Like, just coordinate with, like, rotate your combo over real quick, or at least your heals with demo, right? Not the entire team, just rotate, like, heals with demo and soldier over real quick, kill them, go back, you know? All your fast classes with heals, and your pyro heavy and whatever, they stay here. Right? You just rotate like 2 guys over real quick with beam, kill the gun, you go back. Right? But don't waste too much time on it, okay? So any questions about that when you're defending B? So yeah, I thought positioning you'll figure out. Like it really depends on how bad other people know this map. I mean, you guys have not really played this ever, so I'm not gonna expect much anyways from positioning wise, you know. You guys kind of know the sidelines on this map or no?
Not really.
Okay. Well, so another thing you gotta know is Spire here has juicy sidelines for sniper, which is obvious, right? Also this spot, spies like to play here. It's also a really good soldier spot to just sit and clean the point out, because the spam silence is pretty huge. You know, like this thing is kind of NG heaven, soldier heaven, right? Sniper heaven, spy heaven. Spy because you have so many corners and like getaways and free drop down and get out there. So be careful. Also, if you're pyro on this map, it's worth chasing spies. To a certain extent, obviously, but yeah, you can chase the spy a bunch. It's not that big an issue. What you can do, right, is put dispenser right here as well. So, or people also put their gun up here, and not just there. It's another thing people do. That's actually, yeah. Another common thing is have the gun on this stairway or something, like on this corner on the right when you're defending, right? Last. A really good gun is like right there, or right there, right on the ramps, and then you just rotate it to wherever their team is pushing. Another good place to play is like right here on this head glitch. This is really good positioning for like soldiers and like demos and whatnot, because you get like nice angles on everything. Yeah. So for A hold, let's go over that. A hold is a cringe hold. But if you can do it, you basically play super aggro the entire time. You have the gun like on this roof here, or like here, on that roof, basically. And just looks over everything, or you put it like back here somewhere. Or on the, you can also put it on the left side if you want, back here. Either way, kind of you put the dispenser like right here, and you just hold everything, right? And wherever their combo goes, you rotate. So if it's there, 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 or there. Same concept with B holds when it comes to the rest. And there's all, like it's a really good high ground, so it can be really good. And your sniper can sit really far back with like an engineer or whatever, and just like shoot everyone, like get nasty angles from like here. All these gap angles here, man. Like it's kind of nasty, you know? This shit. I think you can shoot. I think you can shoot through it. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure you can. So like, keep in mind there's like so much good shit. Like this house. So stuff about this point is all about not letting people get behind you, kind of deal. To break a hold, you can do bonk strats, but it's also up to your spy to coordinate shit, right? Sack waves and stuff help. But like bonk strats kind of work as well. On this point. Okay. Any questions?
What does a
And yeah,
heavy do?
on this point, you just play combo. You play on one of the head glitches, like anywhere. Doesn't really matter where. You can play like there. You can play here. You can play like close to the spawn as well, right? Just play like here. Eat sandwich here. Go back. You know. Play this. Like heavy has a lot of good places here. Like so many head glitches you can just kind of sit. Plummy slap as well, right? Plummy slap can be really fun on this map, for your information, because people don't know you're hiding around the corner, right? Yeah. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. It's not much. Yeah, when you're holding A, you have a tally usually at the spawn on C, always. I mean, you also have that on B, but especially on C. Okay. What else? Yeah, I mean, last hold, it's just there's two holds for last. The more passive hold, which you kind of don't want to have happen, and the aggro. Basically, your goal is to just lock down all the doorways and just rotate wherever they're coming, right? So why is this gun on the back left pretty good? It's because it kind of, you can put it like even there. It kind of covers a lot of like the side, you know? And the same if you do it like on the other side. Or like here. And it's like has a long wrangle sideline. The issue is snipers. And also obviously why you would put it on the tower is basically to cover these two exits, right? So you would put it like like you were on an attack, you would cover these two exits off, right? You can also put it like close around the corner there, but I don't like that one. I kind of think it sucks. Yeah, the roof one I don't like that much either. I mean, you have the aggro one where you put like right here on the point. That's okay, I guess, but yeah. It's mainly just about not allowing them in, you know? So, yeah. If you do allow them in, you need to just make sure if they try to go tower, they lose. So, you don't actually have to have the tower to win, right? Only if they're capping, right? So you gotta be ready to block the tower at any point, but doesn't mean you have to play on the tower. If you can surround the tower on every side, you can just kill them all, right? Because they don't really have many places to hide when they're in the tower. So, you don't necessarily have to play on the tower to win. You could just take the fight with everyone but the tower and then kill tower. But you do have to block tower, right? So that means if you're like a soldier, you really don't want to die when defending this point, right? And demos need to be ready to sticky jump up. Okay, you can't just like be static on this map as demo. You gotta jump around. Okay. So, I mean, I don't think this is gonna like be enough for you guys, anyways, because it's very abstract like this, and you guys don't play this map. So I was thinking like I think 4 years ago, that was like the last time we had a proper gravel pit game. So I'll send a vote of that.